Have you ever looked at someone you're attracted to and thought, why them? Not in a romantic movie kind of way, more like, out of all the people in the room, why does my brain keep pulling me toward this one person? Sometimes they're not even your type. Sometimes they're clearly not good for you, and yet the attraction feels automatic. Psychologically, that's because attraction is rarely a conscious decision. Most people don't realize this, but your brain makes that choice long before you do. Today, we're going to break down 4 psychological reasons why you like who you like, and how understanding them can help you make better, healthier choices. Number 1. Familiarity feels like safety. The first reason is simple and a little uncomfortable. We're attracted to what feels familiar. Psychologically, there's something called the mere exposure effect. The more familiar something feels, the safer and more attractive it becomes, even if it isn't actually good for us. This is why people often end up attracted to partners who resemble their parents, past relationships, or emotional dynamics they grew up with. For example, if you grew up having to earn attention, your brain may confuse emotional distance with attraction. Practical advice here is awareness, not judgment. Notice patterns. Ask yourself, does this feel exciting or just familiar? And don't overcorrect by forcing attraction where it doesn't exist. Just slow down enough to see what's happening. Number 2. Your brain likes what it can't fully have. There's an effect called the scarcity principle. Psychologically, when something feels limited, uncertain, or slightly out of reach, your brain assigns it more value. This is why emotionally unavailable people can feel strangely magnetic, not because they're special, but because your brain is trying to solve them. Think about how boring something becomes once it's guaranteed. Attraction often thrives in the space of uncertainty. A real-life example is when someone shows mixed signals. Logically, it should turn you off, but psychologically, it keeps your attention hooked. The practical takeaway: attraction built on uncertainty creates anxiety, not connection. If you feel constantly confused, that's not chemistry, it's your nervous system being activated. Number 3. Emotional states create false attraction. Most people don't realize this, but attraction is heavily influenced by your emotional state. There's something called misattribution of arousal. It means your brain can mistake emotional intensity for attraction. If you meet someone during a stressful, lonely, or transitional period in your life, your brain may link relief with romantic interest. For example, meeting someone during a breakup, during a high-pressure phase, or when you feel lost. They feel special, not because of who they are, but because of when they appeared. Practical advice: if attraction feels unusually intense, ask yourself what else is happening in your life. Strong emotions can blur clarity. And no, this doesn't mean the attraction is fake, just that it deserves time before decisions. Number 4. Attraction reflects how you see yourself. This last one is subtle but powerful. Psychologically, we're often attracted to people who reflect our self-image or the version of ourselves we wish to become. If you don't feel confident, you may be drawn to confidence. If you feel directionless, you may be drawn to ambition. If you feel unseen, you may be drawn to attention. Attraction becomes aspirational. But here's the nuance. When attraction is based entirely on what someone gives you emotionally, it creates imbalance. The practical move is not to suppress attraction, but to develop the traits you admire in others. That's when attraction shifts from dependency to compatibility. So why do we like who we like? Because attraction isn't random. It's a mix of familiarity, uncertainty, emotional timing, and self-perception, all operating quietly in the background. The goal isn't to control attraction, it's to understand it. Because when you understand what's pulling you toward someone, you gain the ability to choose instead of react. If this gave you a new way to look at attraction, you might enjoy exploring more of how the mind quietly shapes our decisions. Thanks for watching.